What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. If you could hear me, I'm having trouble with my live stream, but we're going to try and make this work. Shout out, Devin. Happy Friday. Hello, Cassie E. Glad you could join us today. Hello, Aaliyah, who hopes Eva is okay. Me too, although I think she's going to have a tough road. Hello, Bookchala. Welcome back. I guess we will see what happened to some of our victims today. As usual, I will say my live stream is usually a minute behind anyone watching on CBS because I'm watching on Paramount Plus, and I'll be typing. Of course, Joey saved Abby. Mine's just starting though. I hate it. There ain't no way Grandpa Gangster can move that fast. Well, we're off to a stupid start. Hello, Z Hicks. Welcome. Hello, Miss Blue. Hello, Alvin. Oh, Jacob got there pretty quick. Bookchild says, I guess Joey has officially been redeemed. With who? By saving a Young and the Restless character? I don't know about that. Miss Blue says the chandelier should have fallen on trash, if only. Kathy says they want to redeem Joey. They've been trying all year. Ain't no way Victor could get back to Wisconsin that fast. Bobby says, damn, this show making Joey Mr. Everything. Hello, Bobby. I am honestly officially tired of it. Hello, Phoenix. Happy Friday. I mean, Bookchild, even if the truth about Doug comes out, it's not going to hit because they've written trash so dumb and terrible. Hello, Dee Dee. I mean, Kyle really don't care that she married. Miss Blue says Kyle and Haley do have chemistry. I agree. Can we trade Ashley and Vanessa for Kyle? Send Ashley and Vanessa to the Young and the Restless. Kyle, send Joey too. Bookchella asks, "Do you think the elevator doors will open to reveal Danny and Bill making love to the crowd?" Maybe that would be very soapy if so. Andre, Danny don't care that you're her husband right now. I hate to break it to you. Ah, I don't know, Andre. They really want everyone to feel bad for Andre today, though, and yesterday. Miss Blue says Anita might catch Bill and Danny. I don't know if she just caught Haley coming out with Kyle. I think it'd be someone else, if anyone. Cassie E says, poor Andre, but that's what he gets for trying to marry his auntie Rose. Hello, Diane. Welcome. Aaliyah says, that's crazy that Danny just completely disregarded her husband. It is. Alone in an elevator with Bill just forgets everything, apparently. Bookchella wants Andre free from Danny. I'm tired of him being a simp, but no Ashley, please. I agree with that. Andre can't be a simp for Danny anymore after this. But please, God, no to Ashley. Doc Backhand says Joey as superhero. Wow, reputation cleaner. I'm not here for it. The writing is not good enough to redeem Joey. Dee Dee wants the doors open to everybody finding out. Aaliyah says apparently Bill and Danny have a history with elevators. Seems like everyone on this show has a history with elevators. Devin says, didn't Andre get impaled yesterday? Does he have grace and like healing powers too? He must. Nobody bleeds out on this show except for Eva, apparently. Taiwan, you kind of just missed everything from yesterday except Joey's the hero now. He saved Abby, Newman, Abbott. Cassie E says, I want Joey to always stay a badass. He's not even a badass. He's a grandpa. Dee says, I have to say, happy that Anita heard Haley. Yeah, that's something, I guess. Bobby says, they trying to redeem Joey like that villain with the baseball bat on Walking Dead. Never got that far into Walking Dead. Bocha says, I feel like they are going to try and redeem Joey in time for when Deanna tries to kill him, except I still won't feel sympathy for him or Trask. Me either. That would be stupid. Don't think it would work to most of the audience. The writing sucks too bad to make that work. Doc Backhand says Victor back home in Genoa City is preposterous. From DMV to Wisconsin in 30 minutes. Yeah, through a tornado and everything and storms. Miss Blue thinks Andre will hop around to find Danny and Bill together. I legit the Joey stuff might make me turn off the episode. The watch along might end. Stupid makes no sense. Aaliyah, maybe Shanice just carries them with her everywhere. Maybe she's like Lisa Rinna, just has a bag of drugs. Miss Blue says Victor didn't take his daughter Abby back to Genoa City with him. That's cold blooded. But let everybody tell it. Victor Newman cares about his family. I don't care what anybody says. Haley's been the best part of these 3 episodes. Well, Cassie, I hate to tell it to you, but I hate the writing on the show. No, Kathy, today's episode is not as good as yesterday's. Well, at least these two seem to have stopped. Aaliyah asked, did they fuck or not? I don't know. They're still standing up with clothes on, so they couldn't have. Alvin says, Anita, now is not the time to lecture. Aaliyah says, the look on Danny's face says, yes, I guess. Must have been a quickie with clothes on. Maybe they did it like the Mormons do with clothes on. Bookchaw says, Haley had me giggling the entire crossover. I agree. Definitely the most entertaining part of the crossover. Didi, I'm hitting the fact that Victor got back to Wisconsin in 30 minutes through a tornado, and the fact that they're going overboard trying to redeem Joey. Bookchaw says, why did Bill and Danny stop? I wanted a big reveal. Writers can't get anything right. Well, we gotta stretch this out for 7 months. I'm sure the truth will come out in November. Elias says maybe he just hiked her dress up, but his pants still on. Doc Backhand says Danny has no conscience at all. Devin says a dress and a zipper. They didn't need to be undressed. I would never fuck through a zipper. Z Hicks says we supposed to assume they did Danny and Bill. I don't know. I guess. Elias says Danny, you nasty. Didi says I'm still with Martin not being hurt by the tree. Yeah, that's kind of a lot too. I don't know how Eva's supposed to have internal injuries, but a tree falls on Martin and he don't. Yeah, Devin, no thank you. Why is Tomas with Chelsea? Still, Tomas, the same tone as ever. Didi, it's a no for me with Andre and Ashley. Martin already sitting up. I agree, Kaiwan. This was the great opportunity to kill Tomas, but instead we still have to hear him talk robotically after a tornado just hit. Yeah, I don't know where they got all these walkie talkies, Aaliyah. But child, Nicole needs to keep that energy for Ted's ass too. Kathy hopes Danny gets played by Bill again. Me too. Miss Blue says maybe Leslie stole one of Nicole's eggs. Kat and Eva are actually twins, or they were switched at birth, and Leslie is lying. I mean, I feel like this has to lead to something with that. And I agree with DGF. Nicole needs to simmer down now. Saturday Night Live style. Bobby Bobby, maybe that's where Shanice is getting all of her help. Aaliyah, stranger things have happened on these damn soap operas. Cassie E says it's about damn time Nicole stood up to that Black Will spider. I mean, she has in the past. She needs to do it more face to face, not on walkie talkie. You know, it's easy to be big and bad on walkie talkie. Bookshaw says, I've given up on the switch that birth or twins angle. The writers don't have the imagination for that. Kat will donate blood to Eva, and that will be the end of it. Probably. Dee Dee, I don't think the actress that plays Pam likes to fly into Atlanta all the time, but they definitely dropped Laura again. Aaliyah says, remember when Nicole choked Leslie? Yeah, that was a good time. But ever since then, she's been not doing as much. Bookchild says, I don't miss Pam or Laura. I wish I could say the same for Tomas, Mona, Jan, and Ashley. I don't really miss Pam or Laura either. They don't really add anything. But if they're ever going to actually make Leslie pay for something, it would be nice to have Laura around. Doc Backhand says maybe Eva was impaled. I mean, I guess. DGF says Kat is smart as a whip. She should know to say Eva has internal injuries. She's bleeding from her mouth. Yeah, you would think she would think that first. Bobby wishes the writers gave Laura a revenge storyline against Leslie. What was it, Danny? They must have went far if Danny's saying nobody says a word. Miss Blue, I'm not even going to dignify that statement with a response about the actor that plays Tomas. I agree, Bookchella, that Laura was too much of a weakling. Oh yeah, ass aren't Bill and Danny gonna smell like sex? Maybe there's just a lot of different fumes in the air after the tornado. Oh, Danny's an idiot. Miss Blue thinks Danny and Bill are going to do it again at some point. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Book Cellist says, I swear if Danny ends up Prager's at her big old age, yeah, that will be kind of eye roll worthy. Lulu, who are you talking about with sexual tension? DGF says if Vanessa embeds herself into Joey's business deep enough for it to fail without her, then she finds out that he did dug in. We could have an Alexis Blake hate filled storyline. Honestly, I don't want that. If Vanessa's not suffering, I don't care. Bobby says, so now Danny and Bill will have to come up with lies about where they were. Yeah. Bobby hopes Haley finds a lipstick stain on Bill. I don't know. I don't feel like anyone's going to find any clues on what happened with Danny and Bill just yet. But we'll see. Lulu says, yes, Bill is standing tall. DGF says Bill's cologne should be all over Danny and vice versa. Hasn't Haley smelled Danny in the house or office before? I mean, I feel like the fumes got to be really fucked up in there. Bookchild says her lipstick is gone. Andre and her makeup is smeared. She's the only one sweating in the midst of a tornado. Miss Blue says Bill is one happy man, as he should be, I guess. That's what he's been wanting. That's the only reason he's been circling around Danny, is because Danny was moving on with Andre, got married and everything. So Bill got his conquest. Smash the like button like DGF. Listen to her. Dee Dee says, I'm pissed with the writers to start this all over with Bill. She would not have the baby because of the gene. Good point about the gene. Aaliyah says he wanted that old thing back. DGF says Danny's blush and foundation should be on Bill's belly because of her head fell into it. I don't think the writers are going to go into that detail. See, Hicks says Bill shared his poison with Danny. Well, if it hasn't worked on Bill, a little saliva in the poison isn't going to do much. Book Child says Haley planning to move to Genoa City. As bad as the writing is here, her writing on Young Laurastis would be worse. I'd rather we get Kyle Abbott and they can have, honestly, almost any character I would trade. Kaiwan, yeah, I mean, I don't know what party Martin is on, but you would think that his opponent would use this against him. That the 1% is backing Martin. At least Haley's noticing. At least Haley's smart. Yes, Book Child, I'll trade Tomas for Kyle too, but I highly doubt Young on the Restless wants Tomas. I agree on Berlin too. Miss Blue says Bill did get lucky. He's not lying about that. Correct. Well, Kathy, I don't think Kat's had time to do the podcast because the tornado hit. I feel like we're going to have to deal with Danny's guilt for many weeks. Book Child says, Tomas can't even pretend to be worried about Kat. He's such a bad actor. Although I don't feel like the writing today did him any favors because it's bad enough with his acting. Then you add the writing where he's just sitting around with Chelsea talking about it's good that I'm safe. Book Child also says the writers forgot, just like they forgot about Lynette. Bobby says, damn, they're going to think Kat injured Eva. I mean, I'm sure Leslie's going to make some sort of big deal about that. Yeah, I thought Danny said I too. Miss Blue says, I wish that cat could have gone to the hospital to be with Eva too. I mean, I don't think people would think that Cat would want to do that after the way they know Cat feels about Eva. Bookchild says Leslie is going to want revenge on Cat. I can't stand that woman. Jocelyn says Danny ought to be disgusted with herself, but not Bill, who is a dog. I mean, of course, Bill feels amazing. Alton says Ted says he always loved Nicole, but has he ever loved Dana? I don't think so. Later, Aaliyah, thanks for joining us per usual. Dee Dee says Tomas could have looked scared at least. I mean, I agree. He had the same tone as ever. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. That was a good scene with Ted and Kat. Well, there's Tomas just standing there. Same old look on his face per usual. As if Tomas gave a fuck. Bookchild says, no, Cat, you didn't notice anything. You were busy ranting like a brat. Eva had to vomit blood before Cat noticed anything wrong. True, also. Dee Dee says, Tomas didn't even run over to Cat. Nope. Stood there as robotic as ever. Hello, Donna. Welcome back. Book Child says Trash wants to make nasty love. She's not fooling anyone. Yeah. I can't believe that Tomas was scared out of his mind. I mean, yeah, Donnie kind of missed a lot. Alvin says Tomas is such a stiff. Yep. He is a bot boy. I agree, Bookchella. Haley, the only smart one. It's a shame. I think Kyle would have been a good addition to this drawn out Haley and Bill storyline. Doc Backhand says, "Don't expect reconciliation between Kat and Eva despite the trauma." They might try a little harder. I feel like Kat might. Bookchella says Haley and Kyle have so much chemistry. I mean, it's a shame because not to beat a dead horse because I've done this for over a year now. So many couples on the show don't have actual chemistry. Lulu says Haley needs a new con. I mean, she may have found one. Donna, no, Tomas did not run to Eva. Tomas didn't even run to Kat when he found out Kat was okay. Tomas didn't run, period. He just stood there like the robot that he is. Honestly, it's kind of the opposite for Young and the Rest, though, too, Bugchala, because anytime I've checked out Young and the Restless over the past 7 months, Kyle is lacking chemistry with his counterparts. Bobby says Tomas should play a hitman with the same look on his face all the time. I mean, at least he would be a cold, dead inside person. I guess that would work better for a hitman. Kathy says the writers write Tomas like a lame duck. Yeah, they do. And then he acts like one too. But then I just question why not kill him off in this tornado? Lulu says this was the most exciting week we have had in a long time, for sure. At least there was plenty of action. I mean, that is true, Bookchala. But I don't know how we get from him being Bill's understudy to a hitman. Because on General Hospital, Jason had a brain injury. Tomas already acts like he has a brain injury, so if he gets a new one, it's not going to be that relevant. Dee Dee Madison's never on. She's always missing everything, even her own storyline. Yes, Miss Blue, you're the only one that likes Tomas. I think maybe someone else in here did. Z Hicks, maybe. Yes, it was Z Hicks. You're the only two Tomas fans. Ray too, but he doesn't watch the watch long because he's on the West Coast. Oh, Andre's too much of a simp. They really want to pound this in. Martin wants to donate Victor Newman's blood money. Something's still wrong with Martin. Yep. Let's see this preview. Oh, the other Kyle's back. I prefer the new one. Of course, everyone has to bring their hoe ways to trash. Well, we got a cliffhanger with Martin, so that's good. The even cat stuff is good. I hate everything trash and Grandpa Gangster, though. Let me get back to the chat before I go. Book Chalice says Madison should have gotten swept away too. Too much dead weight characters on this show. Bobby says about time the writers let Vernon wear the pants in the family. Book Chalice says, why is Ashley tired? She did nothing. I don't know. Shanice did all the work. Kaiwan says, crying Nurse Ashley. That's a new nickname for Nurse Ashley. Crying Nurse Ashley. True. Miss Blue bonding with Z Hicks over Tomas of all people. Jocelyn says Anastasia deserved one or two drinks on that occasion. Oh, lost my plot point in the chat because I'm way behind. Donna says Ashley is grieving still. She got to get over it. That was not her man. Exotic Butterfly says, oh, Andre. Yeah, we're all going to have to feel very sorry for Andre for the foreseeable future. Book Chalice says, I thought Andre was supposed to be a man of his word. He really is just a man for the block, too dumb to live. I mean, I do think he's simping too much. But I understand he's in love with Danny and was very worried about her, even though she was out fucking Bill. DGF says Andre should be having some kind of PTSD from the loss of his parents. I think that plays a part of why he's kind of the way he is with Danny and finding this love with Danny. Bobby says Shanice was doing all the work. I didn't catch that. Ashley was lollygagging. Yeah, we saw Ashley just tend to Anastasia, who wasn't even hurt, just looking in shock. Shanice was everywhere, tending to everybody. Bobby says transplant. Alvin says, wow, Kat. Of course, Kat's still going to have a problem with things. Dee Dee says, why does Kat have to be a match instead of Leslie or Ted for the storyline? Miss Blue says Cat sucks for saying that. And she might not be a match. Dan says tornado hits and only the country club was damaged. How about any of the other homes? I think it probably took the alley down, sadly. Bookchild says at least we have something happening next week. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Phoenix. I hope you have a good weekend too. By Z Hicks. Bobby says Doug gone, so who's going to do the operation? Someone random. All right, I guess I must go. I will be back for my review later today, and I will catch you all again next week. Thank you for joining me per usual. It's been a fun week this week, even though this episode pissed me off from jump. I'm not going to lie because of Grandpa Gangster, but I'll talk about it more in my review.